Final Cut Pro pitches a complete audio post-production suite as part of the default package. But I ask, is it actually professional? Or maybe the answer is, it's professional if you start out with inferior audio. It's great at cleaning up background noise, even if the resulting speech is a bit robotic. But what if you start out with audio that's already pristine? As some of you may know, I shoot a weekly video podcast called Craft and Process. It takes me into the spaces of respected makers to discuss their art and the unique spaces they create in. So far, I've spoken to a Main Street bookshop owner and co-founder of a brewery here in Colorado. And both spaces had their own unique challenges from an audio standpoint. Thankfully, my microphone of choice for these interviews is a Heil Sound PR40. This is a large diaphragm dynamic microphone that rejects almost every sound that doesn't originate from in front of the capsule. This leads to a very clean multi-channel audio mix out of the box without any processing, which you can hear playing now.
For me, this has been a long play. This definitely isn't new for me or for us.
Unfortunately, when I asked Final Cut to normalize this audio, it also chooses to perform heavy-handed noise and hum reduction, which makes the audio sound like this.
For me, this has been a long play.
I admit there is a mild whir caused by the air conditioner and the brewing equipment that is on the other side of that glass, but I don't think it's that distracting, even in the raw audio. In recent versions of Final Cut, it's also difficult to apply these audio fixes and then revert them later because they'll often show up again on export. In both recent episodes, I opted to handle the audio track entirely separately, exporting it to Logic for post-production before reintegrating it into the Final Cut timeline. This allowed me to have a cleaner, uncorrupted audio mix, and all but guaranteed that Final Cut wouldn't distort it in the later phases of processing, but it also made it difficult to work with my Tentacle Sync E timecode generators, which are on every camera. These small devices are the backbone of any multi-camera or long-form podcast shoot, and I'll get back to that in a moment. But for right now, understand that if you have a separate audio editor in the mix, you often lose the metadata that is required to use these devices to their fullest. And that's frustrating. I've also lost access to many of my audio plugins, including compressors from Universal Audio and artistic effects from Sound Toys that you've no doubt heard in past videos.